Recording. Okay. Hello, baby girl. This will be the first of many. And I'm sorry if this video is not good. I don't really know what I'm doing yet. But I didn't want to wait. I tried to give you a few things to look at, set an atmosphere, but also I hope that you can't see too many things. The apartment's pretty messy right now, and I don't need you spinning the camera and snooping. But this is where I'm starting. 50 utterly silly stories. At first I had it in my mind that I was going to pick some stories that were more grown up or sexy. But you're going to sleep. I'm reading you bedtime stories. I want you to be able to listen to something that makes you feel little. So, I will read different stories. I will sit in different places around the apartment, or maybe I'll even take you out and go to Starbucks or Barnes & Noble or the library, and I'll try to mix it up. But for the first one, I wanted to read here in the apartment, and I wanted to pick a very special story. So, I just bought this today. Today's the day that I went to Barnes & Noble. Oops. Don't look at the price. Okay, like it was $10, but 50 stories for $10 is really good. And well worth it, because it's thick. And I'm going to start a bookshelf for you. And I'm going to keep track of the stories I've read for you and the ones I haven't. I hope that you enjoy this channel, because I know I'm going to enjoy reading stories to you and putting you to bed at night and just having another way to talk to you. Alright, so they split this book up into different sections, and the first section is called Nonsense and Gobbledygook, just in case you were wondering. And the first story that I want to read for your channel is called Down the Rabbit Hole, an extract from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank, and of having nothing to do. Once or twice she had peeped into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it. And what is the use of a book, thought Alice, without pictures or conversation? So she was considering, as well as she could, for the hot day made her feel very sleepy and stupid, whether the pleasure of making a daisy chain would be worth the trouble of getting up and picking the daisies, when suddenly a white rabbit with pinky eyes ran close by her. Pink eyes. I misread that. I was thinking, what are pinky eyes? Okay, sorry. When suddenly a white rabbit with pink eyes ran close by her. There was nothing so very remarkable in that, nor did Alice think it so very much out of the way to hear the rabbit say to itself, oh dear, I shall be late." When she thought it over afterward, it occurred to her that she ought to have wondered at this, but at the time it all seemed quite natural. When the rabbit actually took a watch out of its waistcoat pocket, looked at it, and then hurried on, Alice started to her feet, for it flashed across her mind that she had never seen a rabbit with either a waistcoat pocket or a watch to take out of it. Burning with curiosity, she ran across the field after it, and fortunately was just in time to see it pop down a large rabbit hole under the hedge. In another moment, down went Alice after it. The rabbit hole went straight on like a tunnel for some way, and then dipped suddenly down, so that Alice had not a moment to think about stopping herself before she found herself falling down a well. First, she tried to look down, and make out what she was coming to, but it was too dark to see anything. Then she looked at the sides of the well, and noticed that they were filled with cupboards and bookshelves. Here and there she saw maps and pictures, and here's a picture for you. Here and there she saw maps and pictures hung upon pegs. She took down a jar from one of the shelves as she passed. It was labeled orange marmalade, but to her great disappointment, it was empty. She did not like to drop the jar for fear of killing somebody, so managed to put it into one of the cupboards as she fell past it. Well, thought Alice to herself, after such a fall as this, I shall think nothing of tumbling downstairs. How brave they'll all think me at home. Why, I wouldn't say anything about it, even if I fell off the top of the house, which was very likely true. Down, down, down. Would the fall never come to an end? I wonder how many miles I've fallen by this time, she said aloud. I must be getting somewhere near the center of the earth. Let me see. That would be 4,000 miles down, I think. For, you see, Alice had learned several things of this sort in her lessons in the schoolroom, and though this was not a very good opportunity for showing off her knowledge, as there was no one to listen to her, still, it was good practice to say it over. Yes, that's about the right distance, but then I wonder, what latitude or longitude? Alice had no idea what latitude or longitude either, but thought they were nice grand words to say. Presently, she began again. I wonder if I shall fall right through the earth. How funny it'll seem to come out among the people that walk with their heads downward. But I shall have to ask them what the name of the country is. You know. Please, ma'am, is this New Zealand or Australia? And she tried to curtsy as she spoke. Fancy curtsying as you're falling through the air. Do you think you could manage it? And what an ignorant little girl she'll think me for asking. No, it'll never do to ask, but perhaps I shall see it written up somewhere. Down, down, down. There was nothing else to do. So Alice soon began talking again. Dinah will miss me very much tonight, I should think. Dinah was the cat. I hope they'll remember her saucer of milk at tea time. Dinah, my dear, I wish you were down here with me. There are no mice in the air, I'm afraid, but you might catch a bat, and that's very, very like a mouse, you know. But do cats eat bats? I wonder. Alice began to get rather sleepy, and went on saying to herself, in a dreamy sort of way, do cats eat bats? And sometimes, do bats eat cats? For, you see, as she couldn't answer either question, it didn't much matter which way she put it. She felt that she was dozing off, and had just begun to dream that she was walking hand in hand with Dinah, and saying to her earnestly, Now, Dinah, tell me the truth. Did you ever eat a bat? When suddenly, thump, thump, down she came upon a heap of sticks and dry leaves, and the fall was over. Alice was not a bit hurt, and she jumped up onto her feet in a moment. She looked up, but it was all dark overhead. Before her was another long passage, and the white rabbit was still in sight, hurrying down it. There was not a moment to be lost. Away went Alice like the wind, and was just in time to hear it say, as it turned a corner, Oh, my ears and whiskers, how late it's getting. She was close behind it when she turned the corner, but the rabbit was no longer to be seen. She found herself in a long, low hall, which was lit up by a row of lamps hanging from the roof. There were doors all around the hall, but they were all locked, and when Alice had been all the way down one side and up the other, trying every door, she walked sadly down the middle, wondering how she was ever going to get out again. And the next story is called The Four Little Children Who Went Round the World. So I hope that Alice in Wonderland, or Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, was a good place to start. I will find a special bookmark for you for this, so I can keep track of where we stopped. In the meantime, I guess, actually, I'm going to go over there and get my phone, and I'm going to text you. I love you.